etc. We start with 1 hour chart. Okay, as we can see, based on 1 hour chart, we are within this correction. We want to see whether this correction can give us one more drop and whether we can look for sell from here, or we can need to wait for the deeper the correction become more complex. Okay, in this case we start with daily chart. As we can see, based on daily chart, this is what we have with the sharp move and reversal. We want to see how complex can be before we look for the next trade. And if we move to forward chart, all right, as we can see, the price almost take the trend line. As I mentioned, every time the trend line is we can adjust it. We don't need to rely on that. But from what we can see here, we want to see whether this one can turn to a deeper correction for one more drop or not. Okay, because if this one give us one more drop, maybe we can expect the price drop quite a bit, because at that time, so we can, the only way we can look is putting these two in relative to each other, because internally we have already. Okay, that's why we want to see whether this one can give us 10 to flat for one more drop, and in that case how we can trade it, or this is the start of their up move. If this is the start of the up move, this one can drop similar to as a corrective, not the flat. Okay, and if we move to 1 hour chart, as I mentioned, based on 1 hour chart, if we want to look for sell, one of the option is the price drop from here. In that case, whether we put our entry below this or here, but as we know, if we want to put have entry, what we want the price tag break and continue easily price tag and reverse. Why? Because it's still we can expect the, we can expect the price to give- turn to this top. Then from there we get the flat before we get the next move. Because right now we can look for this 1 2 3 as a internal, and this one. Okay, that's why the best things is if the price break the top, this one become more complex. Any reversal from there with a sharp move flag, we look for buy from the top rather than selling from here. Okay, now if we want to sell from here, if there is a breakout of this low, maybe we can look for the next flag. This one can give us safer rather than selling from here. If this is the start of the up move, we mentioned maybe this one can turn to a deeper correction, and also made this one move a bit higher, because if we put our trend line here, what we can expect, because first we mentioned if the price come to the top and reverse from there, but if we put our trend line, still we can expect the price tag and reverse. But if the tag and reverse, then we need to see how we can look for trade. Mostly we need to look for the entry below this. Okay, that's why if this one become a deeper, can give us better trade. And again, if you want to look for buy, maybe we wait for the breakout of this. With the next flag, we look for buy. Okay, anyway, we are looking for this. We want to see how complex can be this correction before we look for the next trade. In this case, we just follow the chart. If I see any update, I will share. Thanks.